The word nuclear probably brings some scary images to mind, like this, or this. It's not all bad though. Nuclear power is partially responsible for you not sitting in darkness at night. The big boom in nuclear power came in 1973 when the war in the Middle East caused an explosion in oil prices. The increased need for oil-free electricity led to the current day reliance on nuclear power, with 11% of the world's electricity coming from it. The basic principle of nuclear energy is the chain reaction resulting from a neutron hitting a nucleus, which then breaks into smaller nuclei and free neutrons, releasing tons of energy in a process known as nuclear fission. Released neutrons go on to hit more nuclei, and the process repeats, growing exponentially. The nucleus breaks up because the addition of a neutron makes it very unstable, meaning that the atom does not have enough energy to hold itself together. One of the many types of reactors is the light-water reactor, which is the primary reactor in use today and is prized for its price and reliability, which makes up for its inefficiency. The fission reaction that light-water reactors employ uses uranium-235 atoms as the fuel. The uranium comes in the form of pencil-thin fuel rods that have a length of approximately 3.7 meters. These rods are grouped into bundles called fuel assemblies. Perhaps the most important components of the light-water reactor are the control rods, made of cadmium or indium, chosen for their ability to absorb neutrons without undergoing fission. The water that flows between the control rods also captures neutrons, making it another form of control. These controls are what differentiate a reactor from a bomb, which has no built-in control mechanisms. The water also serves as a coolant, preventing the reactor from overheating. As it absorbs the energy from the fission reaction, it turns into steam, which runs through a turbine and generates the electricity that you are using right now. The steam is then sent through a condenser, turning it back into liquid form, and circulates back to the reactor vessel. As I said before, light-water reactors are not particularly efficient. This is because the fuel rods are not made of pure uranium-235. It's a mixture of uranium-238 and uranium-235, with uranium-235 only making up about 4% of the mixture. Uranium-238 is only 3 neutrons away from being uranium-235, and yet it is much less likely to undergo fission. When uranium-238 is struck by a neutron, it undergoes the reaction pictured here. Once it's in the form of plutonium-239, there are two paths it can take. It can either do what it's supposed to and break apart, or it can absorb the neutron, turning into plutonium-240. If it turns into plutonium-240, it doesn't release any energy, and there is only a 65% chance it will undergo fission and release the neutrons and energy. Now you're probably asking, why don't we just use a higher concentration of uranium-235? Well, the answer is that uranium-235 is very rare and makes up only about 1% of the uranium found in nature. In fact, the uranium used in light-water reactors must undergo enrichment to reach the target 4%. Well, that concludes this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you know more about nuclear fission and how it's used.